Hello everyone. Today I will talk about the ways of solving or finding the derivative of any function. So there are two ways. First way is solving or finding the derivative by definition of derivative, and the second way is by applying some theorems on the functions in order to find their derivative. But today I will discuss only about the first type of finding the derivative of function. So let's take an example. Let's say y is equal to f of x is equal to x squared, and we have to find change of y with respect to x, that is derivative of x. So there are some step-by-step formulation procedure to find the derivative of the function this. So first step is to add a small change in the function, that f of x plus delta x is equal to this is the function, so x plus delta x whole square. Now the second step is, as the mathematical expression of the derivative is of this type, so I've just wrote the values according to the function that is given. So x plus delta x squared over delta x. Now we can solve this expression first, simplify this expression first. So x squared plus delta x squared plus 2x delta x minus x squared over delta x. So by simplifying the expression, we got here, because this cancels out with this expression, and by taking common delta x from this and from this expression, and by dividing by delta x, we just only left out with this expression. Now the third step is taking limit that delta x approaches to 0 of this expression here, because I have no space left right now, so limit delta x approaches to 0 of delta x plus 2x. Delta x approaches to 0, so by the laws of limit we know that limit applies to this and limit applies to this, and there is no any expression that contains delta x, so only the expression delta x approaches to 0, and we left out with only 2x. And as we have saw earlier, that the definition, if we apply limit, is that is the limit delta x approaches to 0 and f of x plus delta x minus f of x over delta x. So this is equal to dy by dx, or derivative of y. So we can write our answer in this. So answer is our dy by dx is equal to y dash of x is equal to 2x. So this is our required form, and we can find the derivative of any function by using the laws, by using the first principle, or by using the definition of the derivative. So there are pretty simple steps. First is adding the change, second is subtracting the function and dividing by the change, and third step, after simplifying this, we just have to apply limit in order to get our final answer, in order to get the derivative of a function. So this is our first example. Now take another example, that is y is equal to x raised to power n. So this is the function can be solved by using the definition, because we have already solved the function of this type by using the definition. But the difference between these two functions are n, because n could be any real number, and n can be any real number, which means that n could be any fraction, n could be any decimal. Decimal can't be any fraction or decimal, is pretty much simple, but can be made complex, because basically some fractions can't be formulated. So we have to find another way, or we have to deal some other kind of way. We have to find another way in order to solve such expression. So the idea is to solve such type of functions by using binomial theorem. Let's solve it. So the steps are just the same as we did earlier. First step is change added in, and this is the first step. So the second step is minus with the function, the original function. So and dividing by the change itself. But here delta y can't be written here or here, because we find the rate of change of the function y with respect to x. So here we can only write, x and also x. We can solve it by using the binomial theorem. So this becomes delta y over delta x is equal to xn. This expression is opened with the help of the binomial theorem, plus our 0 factorial xn minus 1 into n and into delta x over 1 factorial plus xn minus 2 n into n minus 1 over 2 factorial and delta x squared, plus so on, plus the least term of this expression would be delta x raised to power n minus xn, and whole divided by delta x. So now we have to simplify this expression. This xn, because 0 factorial is equal to 1, so we don't have to worry about the 0 in the denominator. So xn and xn can be cancelled out with each other, and we have to take common. Delta x could be common, take value from all of the remaining values here. So we can write xn minus 1 n plus xn minus 2 n minus 1 delta x plus so on, plus delta x raised to power n minus 1. So the third step is limit. So delta x approaches to 0, delta y by delta x is equal to, so all of the expression this expression contains delta x, and all other expressions contain delta x. So if delta x approaches to 0, so we only left out with only this expression, that is xn minus 1 and n. So eventually this is our answer, and this is our answer of finding the derivative of y is equal to xn. So we can write here in this expression, so dy by dx is equal to, this is our answer, n xn minus 1, also written as y prime. So this is our answer. So there are two ways. First way is just applying the definition normally as it is, but the second way of applying binomial theorem by using ab-initio or by using the definition, if there is the values can't be formulated in an easy way. So hopefully we'll talk about the theorems of the derivative, that how we can apply theorems in order to find the derivative of any function in the next video. So stay tuned. Goodbye.